What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Talk Trash Podcast. Podcast we talk about sports, entertainment, news, culture, gaming, and pretty much anything else we feel like. I'm your host, the worst best friend, Ramboss the Terrible, and the man to my right, Mike Ehle, the dad who always comes home drunk. What's going on, dude? How you doing?
Going on, man. A little fun fact about that name. It's actually true, man. When I was used to live on the ship on the last one, my little junior sailors, I'd be, hey, daddy's going out getting drunk, coming back late. Better be in your racks when I come back. You don't want to see daddy drunk. So it's a true story, man.
Respectful.
I gave them a warning.
I'm sure they looked up to you very much.
They did. At least I gave them a warning.
Respect. All right, so quick heads up. This week, we don't really have a lot of news or anything for you guys because we were out on a float trip with some friends. So we're going to hear... Yeah, it was awesome. It was a ton of fun. You might notice we're all kind of red and sunburnt, and even actually I have a kind of nice little tan going. But yeah, that's why we had an awesome little time at a float trip, which you're definitely going to hear about. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and get the show started. So we got a great show for you guys. So before we even get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Trying to grow, and you guys are going to go ahead and do your part and help brothers out. All right? Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So the float trip, Mike.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, it actually was a really goddamn good time.
Even though I slept in my car, man, but I learned a lot.
I don't know why you wanted to sleep in your car, honestly. Like, I thought you were going to bring a tent. Like,
man, I just thought it'd be awesome, man. I had the screens on my window.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it just holds heat more than a fucking tent does, because it got pretty ridiculous.
You got really hot in there?
Hell yeah, I had to sleep with an ice pack on my chest. And I had a fan.
You also had that ice, ice AC unit thing, that little, like, portable AC unit. I did a
little Arctic fan, I think it's called, where you drop little ice cubes in, and it worked great, but, man, I woke up, like, pretty much every hour, every 2 hours.
Really?
But I do that at home anyways. But, man... Shit, it's still a good time. I know next time, though, you got to get a tent. And I got me a badass cooler, because everybody that went to this float trip, they had badass coolers. I ain't going to be the one next year.
Yeah. I wasn't able to bring anything, really. It was kind of, like, stupid. I literally just brought a backpack with, like, clothes.
Yeah, you got a free Airbnb.
Yeah, more or less. Well, the thing is, like,
a mattress,
I tried to pay Pittman for letting me use all his shit.
Oh, dude?
Yeah, I tried to. Because, like, I felt bad. Like, I used his tent, I used his air mattress, I used his pillows, like, sheets, like, even
his
food,
underwear,
everything.
Fucking, yeah.
His toothbrush.
I forgot my toothbrush.
I used all of his stuff.
Wash rag.
And, yeah, but he said he wouldn't let me pay him. He, like, refused. So, thank you, Pitts, if you're watching, which you're probably not.
Real nice.
But even so, thank you very much. I do appreciate you. But yeah, no, because I was flying, dude. Like, you can't bring anything on a plane like that. And I was kind of worried, honestly, when I was flying, because my book bag was so big that it might be considered a carry-on. But luckily, it was not. It is just a personal item. So for anybody wondering, a book bag is not considered a carry-on. If you don't know that, now you do.
Yeah, as long as it can fit in the overhead compartment, I think you're good.
No, it said as long as it fit under the seat. And so that was it.
You rode ghetto, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't even have overhead compartments.
I got money, but fuck, am I cheap? It's a hard habit to break, man.
Yeah, I feel you, damn.
But yeah, it worked out. It worked out okay. I did feel bad for fucking showing up so goddamn late because of the thunderstorms over here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did fucking delay everybody.
Fucking by like 3 hours.
Florida weather, man.
I know, it's so random, dude. But the float trip.
But hey, we made it. We had a great time. The first day, that frisbee shit. Remember that frisbee shit we played? I don't even know the name of it. Frisbee stick?
I don't know what it's called either. But so basically, for anybody wondering, it's literally just like this. It's a stick. So basically, okay. So how it looks is, imagine a PVC pipe, a straight PVC pipe, just sticking out of the ground, right? And there's
they had it cemented in buckets.
They had it cemented in buckets so they could carry it around. But it's basically just PVC pipe straight. And then on the top of the PVC pipe is a small little platform that you put a water bottle or something, right? Basically,
filled water. It's a halfway filled water bottle.
Yeah, we used a water bottle, and you just stand maybe 25 feet apart, something like that, 30 feet,
I think it was, yeah.
And then you just you take turns throwing the frisbee at the stick, and if you hit the stick, you have the potential of knocking off the water bottle, and for them not catching the frisbee because it obviously hit the stick, right? And then you basically just keep points based, like 2 points if the water bottle falls and hits the ground.
If nobody catches the water bottle, it's 2 points. Nobody catches the frisbee. Frisbee is 1 point. Water bottle is 2 points.
2 points.
If both of you don't catch neither, it's 3 points.
Yep. And then it's first to 21 points.
But do you think that's a Missouri thing, or is anybody out there, y'all heard about this game? Frisbee stick, I guess it's called. You gonna post a picture of it?
Yeah, I'll post a picture of what it looks like, and if somebody can tell me what the actual name of it is, that'd be great. But
I wonder if it's a Missouri thing, man.
Much.
I just wonder if it's just a drunk Missouri.
I have no idea, but it was a ton of fucking fun. Like I had a really good time playing that game.
It is fun.
And like just grabbing random people to like play with us and like playing line judge and shit like that for
they were fucking playing in the water with it.
And then what about the fucking? We had these two guys just throwing rocks at each other.
Fucking alcohol makes you do anything. What game was that called?
It's just
rocks.
They were literally just reaching into the water and throwing literal like river rocks at each other, and these things were fucking pretty big. And one of them got hit in the neck.
Yeah. What makes you think like nobody's gonna get hurt?
Yeah, he just got rocked right. No pun intended. He got rocked in the neck. But yeah, that was pretty fun. And that
Have you ever done any other float trips, or is that the only one in Missouri?
Missouri's the only actual like float trip I've been on. I've done like lazy river kind of shit before.
Down an actual river, or just
no, those are like theme parks, so like they'll have like a lazy river that goes around a theme park, but this is Missouri's the only actual river.
I did one in San Antonio, or outside of San Antonio, and it's nothing compared to, well, I don't know, because I'm sure there's other places, but Missouri's just different because the atmosphere. It's almost like Mardi Gras on the water.
It really does feel like Mardi Gras on the water.
Yeah, like the one in San Antonio is more family friendly.
Yeah.
This one was, but yet they had little kids at this one. I was like, man, they're taking their little kids to this Mardi Gras in the water type shit.
Exactly. I guess those parents, I mean, you would have to assume those parents know what they're getting themselves into, Although, like,
I don't know, we should have asked, because that might have been like, this is my first time, I'm never coming back.
Right. I don't know what I would do.
It's a culture shock, I tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was a parent and I didn't expect that. And you go and then all you see is people throwing beads and fucking flashing each other and exactly, titties and buttholes everywhere. So that's kind of like,
there was a couple balls.
There was a couple. It was just a lot of fucking fun. So I think if you guys ever get a chance to actually get on one of those like river float trips, especially in Missouri, what was the name of the place? Naraga or something like that?
Niga. It's over there in Lebanon.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check what it's called. I think it's called like...
It's in Lebanon. Because they got the NRO. We went to what? Waterfront or...
Riverfront.
Canoe and campground? Riverfront Canoe and Campground?
Yeah. It's called Niangua. 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 That's the name of the river. Yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to get out that way, I highly suggest it. It is definitely more adult themed than you would expect. I'm
hoping the weekends is just adult themed, like, cause like I guess people floated Friday when we got there, but you don't see nobody looking as wild as Saturday.
Yeah, I guess that is true. It wasn't that bad. Saturday was goddamn crazy. But you know what you could do, honestly, is probably just look up on like Yelp or something like that. Like, what are the wild times? Like, you're definitely going to get reviews that people are like, hey, this was fucking like kind of crazy. If
I would have known this, I would have never brought my kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it is too crazy. That was like legitimately like young teenage boys just like having the time of their life. Like on this
you ain't lying, because, and they're not with them. They're probably told their mom and dad, hey, we're just gonna go to the river. All right, be safe.
Yeah, have fun. They're going to like a show.
So I told him 1 year, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna bring my son. My son, he's old enough. But one of the buddies up there, he's like, hey man, you never gonna bring your son up here? I said, no, I realize I don't want my son to know what happens on this river with his dad.
Exactly. Like, this is more it's more for the boys.
Yeah, exactly. If he wants to go on his own, be more than welcome. But
yeah,
you can't do what I do. I don't want you to look at your dad and be like, this is why my dad leaves us and goes.
Yeah, he's fucking judgmental after that.
Supposed to buy milk. He said he was gonna buy milk. He ain't never came back for the weekend.
Yeah, we had so many Jello shots, dude. Even like at the end, there were still like fucking probably 200 Jello shots left.
So the first time I went, we didn't have no beads, but we were just tossing out Jello shots, and we got a lot of results with Jello shots. I think you get more results with Jello shots than beads, but I'm stocking up for Mardi Gras this year. I tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the beads things were pretty good, because like
it actually worked. Yeah.
Somebody asked me, she was like, "Where'd you?" Because I had beads. And then she was asking me, she's like, "Hey, did you earn those beads?" And I was like, "You earned these beads." I was like, "Don't worry about how I got these things. Like,
don't
you
worry
want
about
them,
my beads.
If you want them, you need to work for them." So they definitely work.
I'm
Just put it that way.
Year, man, I earned mine in New Orleans. You don't want to know what I did for these beads.
Like, I could suck a golf ball through a hose.
Yeah, exactly.
Through a garden hose.
One little fucking bead.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. So yeah, definitely think about going if that's like on your bucket list.
I wonder what other places. I know Texas got some, Missouri got some. I wonder what other places are out there.
I would assume Florida's probably got some. Like, they've got some really nice rivers out there. Like, there's a place called like Weeki Wachee that does like kayaking where the manatees like swim under you and shit like that. So
man, but they got gators over there.
I mean, sure, but
well, don't give me that look. They got
yeah, I don't know. I'm not really too familiar with how dangerous gators are, to tell you the truth.
Oh, they're pretty dangerous.
Like,
I'll let you know that much.
I keep hearing how dangerous they are, but I rarely hear stories about like anything crazy happening with them.
I will go find them.
I don't want to test the theory, but I'm just saying. Yeah. So go ahead and give a look at. Go ahead and look up Nicaragua
Riverfront Campground and Canoe.
Right. That was it. Yeah, Riverfront Campground and Canoe. Go ahead and look that. It's a river. The river name is Niangua, like I said before. It's a good time.
Everybody on the river, man, they're real friendly. I didn't really see no assholes out there on the river. I mean, I saw assholes, but not people acting like that.
I want people from the Navy to come also next year.
Yeah, it was nice to get a nice little group to go.
It would be. Like, I'm not saying I want like a ton of people, but like
sailors.
You said subscribers. That's right, subscribers.
Be nice.
But yeah, it was a good time. And hopefully we can, do it again next year and the year after that and just make it like a thing. So Mike, tell me about your jersey you're wearing and why are you wearing it?
One, because I'm a fan. Two, it's because they won a national championship, a World Series, the College World Series.
Can you tell us about the path they had to go through?
Hard road.
Ooh.
Because, so what? Last week, we were actually supposed to record, and I told you, because they had a game Tuesday. I was like, man, I can't record Tuesday. I got to go watch the game. And then I was like, okay, now we got to record Wednesday, like at what? What time we record? Like
we recorded early. It was like 1. Yeah.
Yeah, like 12 my time, 1 o'clock your time. I was like, because another game's on Wednesday. They played, to start the College World Series, they played Saturday.
Wake Forest, right?
Well, no, they played Saturday against Tennessee. They beat Tennessee. Oh. They had a break off. Then Monday they lost to Wake Forest, so they had to play Tennessee again on Tuesday, which was an elimination game. So they beat Tennessee Tuesday. Wednesday they had to go back and play Wake Forest, another elimination game if they lose. They beat Wake Forest, which is the number 1 team. Thursday, they had to play Wake Forest again because Wake Forest had to lose twice. LSU beat them again. Friday, they got off. Saturday was the start of the College World Series against Florida, which is the number 2 team. They beat them Saturday. That's when we were floating. I was watching the game on my little phone. Good thing we got done floating at 6. But I was watching the game. They won that game, and then they got demolished fucking Sunday. I couldn't even watch the whole game, so I watched till the 5th inning.
What was the score?
It was 24-4.
Oh my goodness.
So you just remember, like, Florida should have been on a high, but came in Monday, which was yesterday. And man, they won the World Series, man.
What was the score for the final game?
18-4, 18-5, I think it was.
Really, in the last game?
Yeah, and they got 20, and they got 24 hits, which is a record. Everybody talk because how bad they got beat Saturday. Like, oh, that's a record for College World Series, the worst loss ever. And then so Monday, I was like, well, we got the most hits, which is a record too. We got 24 hits that game.
Well, still, man, that's pretty wild. I remember you were telling me that they had to win. I think you said 3 games in order to 3 straight games to get into it. Yeah, and I honestly was a little skeptical. I was like, all right. And then, because I remember you were saying like one of them was Wake Forest, and that was like the number 1 team, and like LSU was what, number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I don't see this really happening.
And the
but
thing about it, during the season, our bullpen wasn't as strong, but them boys came to show out during the World Series.
Yeah. And what's that dude's name? Is Tommy Tank or some shit like that, or Tommy Tanks or something?
Yeah, Tommy
like
White.
That,
He was a sophomore. That's all he does is fucking swing for the fences.
Yeah. How'd he do?
If they told that dude to bunt, he gonna make that bunt be a home run. He'll find some way. That dude doesn't believe in none of that shit. Straight power swings every time.
Is he bat fourth?
Skeens. I'll tell you about that picture. Skeens.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I liked about him, he came from the Air Force, and he's really big for the military.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and that dude, he was throwing like 101 miles per hour. Yeah, but he didn't play none in the finals. He didn't play no games against Florida.
None?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Which everybody was hoping he was gonna come out last night and just, throw like the 9th inning, just like pay like respect and shit like that. But nah, he just chilled out, and
by the 9th inning, it was already like the game was over. By that, right? Like,
yeah.
Because you said it was 18-4. I'm assuming they didn't score 18 runs in the 9th inning.
No.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Does that Tommy Tanks, does he bat 4th or 5th? Like, what does he bat?
Well, so it was funny. So all during the series, it was Dylan Cruz, which Dylan Cruz is like the number 1 prospect. This dude, he had a chance to come out of high school to go to pros, but he decided to go to college. Yeah, dude, he won the Golden Spikes, I think it's called, Golden Cleat, Golden Spikes Award, which is like the best college player. But so he was our number 1 batter. Then it was Tommy White, which is Tommy Tanks, and then it was Trey Morgan. Well, the final game, they put in this dude Beleso to be the number 1 hitter, because that dude, he was on fire. So they said, okay, you're going to hit number 1, then Dylan Cruz, then Tommy White, and then Trey Morgan. Kept that order, but
okay,
that was going for the final game. They fooled him.
Well, congratulations, LSU, on your college championship.
We won the women's basketball.
Dude, I was just about to say, I feel like LSU has been winning so much fucking shit lately. Like,
well, the women's basketball coach, that was her 2nd year coaching. Our baseball coach, that was his 2nd year coaching.
Damn.
And Brian Kelly, this is his 2nd year coaching for the football team.
Yeah.
He got a lot of shit riding on.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep it going, right?
Yeah. I'm going to a couple of those games this season, too.
Good. That's good, man. It's nice when your team is winning. I wouldn't know.
Trust me, we didn't win a World Series. It's been since 2009 was our last college World Series.
14 years ago.
We ran in the 90s, man. We had a pretty good run through the 90s. We only won 7 college World Series. Southern California got 12.
What the hell?
Yeah, then we got 7, and Texas got 6, and I was like, God damn it, man, we need more.
Well, you can't complain too bad, because I mean, you guys just won it, so
yeah.
Hopefully, you guys keep the momentum up through football season.
This third world country that we live in over here.
Yeah, right.
Third world country over here.
The one big news that we did have while we were floating down the river was
we talked about you said something about it Saturday night when we got back to the
it was that night at the campground, because like I was just looking up shit online, like what the hell was going on while we were out.
Homework. Okay, I'm glad somebody was doing homework.
Yeah, and it was that whole the Wagner group, the mercenaries in Russia, right? Who they were Russia was using in Ukraine. They basically led a coup against Putin, and they made it to about 200 kilometers outside of Moscow. And then the leader
We're
of the
just tired
group,
of it. They're like, man, we ain't doing this shit no more.
So I don't really understand why they just stopped. It was really just kind of fucking weird. But the leader of that mercenary group, whose name is Yevgeny Prigozhin, not sure if I said that right. If I didn't, oops, forgive me. My Russian is not exactly the best.
Please forgive me. Don't come over here.
Yeah. But anyway, he made it to about 200 kilometers outside of Moscow, and then the next thing I know, they just stopped and fucking. He was like, "All right, I'm out," and he ended up going to Belarus and basically just like kind of dipping out and was like, "All right, this is where I'm gonna fucking chill out now."
Nice little vacation.
Escape to Belarus.
A float trip. You think he went on a float trip?
Yeah. Maybe he was going to be late to the float trip, so he's like, I don't got time to make it all the way to Moscow, guys.
I thought we were supposed to be done with this shit.
Yeah, so he dipped out, and basically everybody was kind of just like, what the hell just happened in fucking Russia? You know, I was ready to see like some shit go down over there, you know?
Yeah, well,
like,
yeah.
That's what everybody was thinking. Everybody was like, oh my god.
Now, right?
Basically, right now, from what I've read, is all the charges against that Prigozhin guy have been dropped, and all of his mercenaries under him.
Yeah, his little followers or whatever.
Yeah. So what's going to happen?
More followers than us, man. What the fuck?
I know. What the fuck? But So what was going to happen now is the mercenaries that were working under the Wagner Group are just going to be assimilated into the Russian army and kind of dispersed throughout. So,
oh, no shit.
Yeah, they're just going to be, work for the army now. But the thing is, like, I don't really see how that's going to play out too well for Putin. Because, like, think about it like this. You're going to break up all of those super experienced mercenaries, right?
Yeah.
Into different Russian,
different parts of where,
like divisions in the army, right? In their army.
Yeah.
And they're going to be the most experienced people in those divisions. And you're telling me that a couple of them aren't going to be like, hey, we could fucking overthrow this bitch.
Yeah, hey, we can do this.
Yeah, like, yeah. And the thing is, they were saying, like, a lot of the mercenaries and shit like that were really fucking pissed at the leader for just fucking giving up like that. They were like, we are so fucking close, and you just stopped. Like, what the fuck kind of thing.
Damn.
And I'm crazy. Also, I'm pretty surprised, honestly, that Putin is just so quick to forgive. Like, this just doesn't seem much like very like him at all, you know?
Yeah.
So I would have expected a harsher punishment.
Man, you have to listen to your star player sometimes.
I guess. Well, this star player just had enough.
You see it all the time in sports, you know? Comparing this shit to sports. You see it all the time in sports.
Yeah, but I don't know too many sports where the players will literally try to kill their coach. Like, out to kill the coach and then just change their mind. So yeah, that was pretty much the big thing that happened while we were out. But I don't really know what's going to happen from here. I mean, I have my suspicions. I have a feeling that the leader here, who's in Belarus, even though they said that they've dropped all the charges against him and things like that, I don't see him going back to Russia anytime soon. You know?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, like, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Who knows? But it definitely shows that Russia's not nearly as fucking strong as, you know, they portrayed to be.
They thought they were going.
Yeah, like, at all. Even from the start of the whole, like, Ukraine war, Russia's just been taking L after L after L.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's pretty fucking embarrassing for them right now. Like, Russia's legitimately fucking up. Like, they're fucking up bad. Like, they've destroyed their image so much in the world that, only reason why people have any fear of them right now is nukes. That's it. Literally, none of their equipment or anything like that is scary at fucking all. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but we shall see what comes down the line. If you guys know what the hell's going on, and can give us a better understanding.
We missed something, which I'm sure we missed a lot because.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not coming to us for your detailed news. Like,
for this time,
if you just want like a take from two fucking dudes who were out on the river drinking all weekend, we can give you that.
A small little clip.
But we can't give you like the fucking, you know, the deep dives. I did
watch a lot of World Series too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So please let us know what you guys think about the Russian coup in the comments down below. If you guys are enjoying the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. We really would appreciate it. We're a small content creators. So if you guys could help us out, get us growing on that YouTube algorithm a little bit more, we would greatly appreciate it. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. So Mike, have you ever heard of the Netflix movie, it's a documentary actually, called The King of Clones?
King of Clone, no.
Yeah. So, do you remember that a long time ago there was a sheep that was cloned named Dolly?
Yeah, I do remember the sheep.
Right, the sheep named Dolly, right? It was like a big deal, and it was like all over the world news about it. Well, the documentary is about the doctor who led that team to do that, right?
Okay.
And it was about like his rise and fall in the medical community. So basically, what he started doing was he started cloning like small animals at first, right? Doing like rats and rabbits and stuff like that, making clones, and dogs, right? Once he started cloning dogs, that was a big deal, because the dog, I guess a dog genome is really difficult, because there's so many different breeds and things like that that could, I guess screw it up. That's the super simple way. They explained it in more detail in the documentary, but I'm an idiot, so I just dumbed it down, right?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You got it. So after he was doing dogs and things like that, he started doing like working on like camels, but there was this camel that was dead for like 10 years or some shit like that, which they were able to actually clone after 10 years and basically bring this animal who had been dead for so long back to life.
I just heard about the sheep. He went more?
Dude, the dude, he was saying that he cloned over 1,600 animals. Yeah, 1,600, right? Throughout his research. The dude is
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, basically, except it's all fucking clones. He got in trouble though when he started to work on humans, right? On human cloning. And the thing that actually got him in, kind of fall from grace, was when he basically stole women's eggs, their from their ovaries. He basically stole it from them because they had donated them for some other reason, not for his research, but for something else, and he just took them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's what got him in trouble, was his ethics behind what he was doing, not necessarily what he was doing.
Yeah, it sounds fucked up.
Right. Yeah. You can't just go taking fucking people's shit without having their permission. So that was kind of his fall. But the thing is, he didn't actually see any jail time because of that. He only ended up getting 1 year, and that was for embezzling like grant money, so he only went to jail for 1 year, because apparently there's no real jail time for lying in regards to like science, so if you're a scientist, it's kind of weird. Like, you would think there would be, but there really isn't. And
next time I do a crime, I'm gonna base it around science.
Yeah, like he legitimately didn't get in any trouble for that, except for the embezzling of the money part. But you can't embezzle money in any field, otherwise you get fucked. Yeah. But anyway, this write-in question I saw it online. So I was like, you know what, we didn't get a write-in this week. I'll just use this question online and see what you think. It has to do with clones, right? And
see what the followers think too.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I want to know.
Ain't just about me,
So Mike, this is a question that I'm honestly kind of curious what you think. It says, how do you feel about designer babies? So the first question is, are you familiar with what a designer baby is?
Not really. Somebody who wears Prada.
That's a fancy ass baby. Yep.
Yeah,
those bougie ass babies.
Wears Louis Vuitton and Prada.
What'd you call it? Louis Vuitton?
Louis Vuitton and Prada.
All right. So basically what a designer baby is, for anybody out there who doesn't know, just a quick rundown of it is a baby that you can design to have traits that you request, right? So say you're having a baby, you and your husband, you're like, okay, well, we want the baby to have green eyes, right? So then the doctor or whomever it is will be like, okay, well, that's a $3,000 charge if you want green eyes. Okay, cool. So you check that box. Okay, we want it to be at least 6'1", 6'2".
So you bring a menu out.
But kind of like, it's literally like just a fucking, you kind of just choose what it is, right? And it'd be like, all right, well, that's going to be another $5,000. Okay, you check that off. All right, I want to make sure that he has a proficiency in the maths, like STEM, right? Okay, cool. That's going to be a $10,000 charge, right?
Yeah.
And you're basically just choosing this baby's traits, right? And then through the genetic engineering, you will have that baby, right?
Yeah.
And that's what a designer baby is, right? So I'm just curious, how do you feel with the thought of a designer baby?
I don't mean, like, part of me is against it, and I really don't know why I'd be against it, but I don't know, like, I feel like with like teaching them knowledge like math and stuff like that, I think that just takes away from raising a kid, I think. But that's just like okay, you want him to be good at math, you want him to be good at science, like adapting that, which I don't really see that possible. But like to change like a characteristics like your eyes or something like that, or your height, I think the biggest characteristic the only one I really care about is not really even to care about it, but just eye color. I don't know, I just think like having a green or blue eyes, because nobody in my family's ever gonna have green or blue eyes.
So because what, it stands out?
Yeah, just because it would stand out because my kids, they're tan. And let's say, like, okay, I give my son green, I give my daughter blue, I give my other daughter like hazel or something like that. You know, it's a real light. And I just think that just looks so unique, and it make them look so different.
That would help them stand out in the crowd, kind of thing, a little bit.
But like, I think that's like the only thing I would care about. But I mean, they got context for that shit. But I mean,
well, here's my question though: wouldn't you want your kid to have the best chance possible to succeed in life? And wouldn't giving them brains like extra a little bit, boost in the fucking cognitive department kind of be good?
I mean, if it's like guaranteed, I guess. But I mean, like I said, I just feel like if you gonna sit there and be like, man, I know my kid's gonna be good at math. Fuck it, I ain't gonna teach that motherfucker nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never gonna help him out in that department. Which I mean, ultimately you will because you're a parent. But I mean, I just think I think it takes away from raising a kid. I think just that aspect.
So
but, characteristics I think are pretty cool.
Yeah. So you're okay with the changing of the eye, like physical traits?
Yeah.
Eye color, or maybe saying like, okay, they
the hair color,
stupid.
eye color,
or like dimples, giving them dimples, or giving them a cleft chin, or some shit like that. Like those kind of things you're cool with. But when it comes to when it comes to more of the like cognitive side of a person, that's where you're like, I don't want to fuck with.
Yeah, I don't feel like you should have had to mess with that part.
Gotcha. So I think I'm cool with it because I see designer people more as like literally just human advancement, I guess. I feel like it's inevitable. People are going to be like, people are going to need to be smarter, better looking and shit like that. Like, it's just the natural progression of things. Like, I mean, even
but that's also saying that's also still putting down the people that are not wealthy. They're not going to be able to afford that stuff. So it's always going to keep them at the bottom.
That is true. That is also a factor that you kind of got to keep in mind of. Like, this is not going to be for a cheap thing. This is not for the masses. This is going to be for people who have those like resources to get it done.
So I mean, it's always going to keep the not wealthy always behind. That's what I feel like too. Yeah,
and that's not, and actually, like, you're right in the sense of also, like, this. If you're going to have even smarter people being born who are wealthy, then it's going to be even worse for the not wealthy people who are just regular people. Like that is going to hurt them. I
can't afford that.
Speak for your goddamn self.
One eye. My kid will have one fucking
one green eye. That's it. And blind in the other one.
How much is one?
That's it.
How much is one leg to be longer than the other one? That's all I can afford.
I'm not. The thing is, like, I get kind of sketched out when it comes to people talking about designer babies getting rid of any type of person with like a flaw. So like, basically say like your kid is going to have Down syndrome, for example, right? And you're like, I don't want that. Here's my money, fix it, kind of deal. Like that's where I'm kind of like, that's I think a little too far for me, So I don't know how I don't know how you remedy that situation, but it is something to think about because that's obviously going to come up eventually. It's like, it's just ethics. It's an ethical thing. I don't know why I feel that way, but I just do. There was also this other thing that this kind of tied into, and it was involving like the King of Clones or the Clone King, whatever the hell, where they were talking about basically growing babies for
another planet.
No, what?
That'd be awesome.
No, they're growing these babies who don't actually like have like brain function for their organs. So like you grow a kid and then like it's for a different person. Yeah, but the thing is these babies they're not like functionally alive. Like they don't really have their brains are dead, but the rest of their body is alive. So they have a working heart, they have lungs, everything else works and can be transplanted into another person who needs them. And shit like that. And how do you feel about stuff like that?
That's where the zombie apocalypse starts. That's how it's going to happen. If we're talking about this, that's how the zombie apocalypse is going to start.
It's just a weird state. I don't know. It's just a weird thing to think about. But I think like we're going to have this discussion eventually because I feel like it's just around the corner kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
right? What do you guys think about the whole designer baby situation and like the whole, cloning babies in order to just kind of farm them for their organs, basically? Would appreciate it if you would leave those comments down below. All right, Mike, here's our what would you do?
What would you do?
Which is not even a what would you do. It's a would you rather. All right.
Okay. Would you rather? Okay.
All right. So would you rather speak to animals or know other people's thoughts?
The best thing would be able to talk to my dogs. I just want to know what's going on. I like my dogs more than I like people sometimes. So I think I want to speak to animals.
I think that's a pretty popular thing. Like I actually feel the same way. Like I kind of like dogs more than I like people too.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just look at my dog and be like, what the fuck is on your mind? I just want to know what's on your mind. Like that way I know, like, if this dude comes up to like, bro, you're such an asshole, man. I don't like chasing balls, but for some reason I
do this to make you happy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't do shit for me.
Yeah. So that's.
Or when they're looking out the window, like, bro, what you looking out the window for?
But you can you could talk to any animal, not just your dog. So you could talk to the fucking squirrel that the dog is chasing. Squirrel's probably like, motherfucker.
Yeah, and that squirrel like, hey man, tell him to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, he's never gonna catch me. He's just fucking annoying.
Yeah, every fucking day we deal with this shit. And then we got that one evil dog running the street. We got a bunch of loose dogs in my neighborhood. I would like to know what's on their mind.
Why do you just have loose dogs in your neighborhood?
I don't know. So we got a what's it called, Facebook neighborhood fucking feed or whatever, and that's all that's on. The only thing that's on it is loose dog on this street. Whose dog is this? Hey, my cat got out, and stuff like it's all this. The feed is about that, and lately it's been about power's out again. Who got power? I'm like, man, who fucking cares?
Goddamn.
Yeah, no, that's all my neighborhood's about.
Well, I don't have any. Like, I have a neighborhood Facebook page, but it's always people like, hey, I just moved in. Does anybody need boxes? Like, that's like the number one fucking question.
And everything's a gunshot. If they hear a noise, it's a gunshot. Or if they hear an alarm, we live right next to the Air Force base. What's going on? There's an alarm going off on base. And the alarm on base will be something about just the high winds that can't fly off the B-52s, shit like that. And that's all. But every time it's the same thing. Like, there's an alarm going off. What's that mean? Like, man,
there's a movie. You just remind me, since you want to like talk to animals. There's a movie coming out where
imagine talking to a fish.
What the fuck would a fish talk about?
Exactly. Just imagine talking to him.
Like, I just can't. Like, it just seems so like, what the fuck would a fish have to say? Like,
first off, their life is boring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have
and they don't like goldfish. Their memory is they forget everything like in a minute or some shit like that.
Yeah, they do have a short memory, but like I think
it'll be the same conversation every fucking day.
That'd be so fucking terrible. See, why do you want to do this?
As soon as they start talking, shut the fuck up.
You told me to shit yesterday. Yeah. I'm definitely taking the other people's thoughts because I can't imagine any animal has anything worth a shit to say, like, man, at all.
I think once they find out you know how to talk, they just won't shut up neither. But man, it's so fascinating. I just want to know my dog. I tell my dog to shut the fuck up anyway. So when he's barking outside. Yeah,
I don't want to know what my dogs are saying. Like, Gil is so fucking annoying. Like, I love him to death, but Jesus Christ, is he annoying. I would definitely rather know thoughts because I think I'd rather know the intentions of people.
If I was able to talk to animals, I'd probably just go live somewhere remote, just away from everybody. And just listen to the animals.
And just listen to them talk to each other in the forest?
Yeah, and talk back. Like, you just wake up, see the bear.
Dude, like, all you'd hear from birds in the fucking is like, all they are doing is trying to fuck all day. That's all they'd be be listening to. You'd be like, hey, you want to fuck?
You walk out of your house,
you want to fuck?
Walk out, just let them beat, fuck.
Yeah, like that's it. That's all they're screaming. They're just trying to mate all the time. So, and the same thing with like rabbits and shit like that too. Like all the animal ads, all you
wake up in the morning, where the hoe?
Yeah, morning bitches.
Where the
hoe? That's all you'd hear. Yeah, I'm definitely going with the thoughts. I don't think so. That sounds fucking terrible to me. I just think knowing what other people are thinking would be more useful because like if you really think about it, you just fucking walk around and like try to pick up on people's like just shit in their mind You know, like I think that would be I think that would be awesome. As long as it doesn't like overwhelm you. So like if you're not like surrounded by 100 people and you're hearing 100 thoughts at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, if you could like focus it in, that would be pretty cool.
Imagine being on that float trip and then you hear everybody's thoughts.
Oh my! Everybody would just be thinking, "Show me your titties," like that's it.
Yeah, that's
or am I going to show my titties? Titties. That's it. Yeah, that's all you're going to.
And then little kids, Mom, why am I here? Mom, why am I here?
Mom, why is everybody showing their titties?
Yeah.
Mom, why are you showing your titties? That's basically it. But yeah, so that's what I would choose. I just think it'd be more useful. Yeah. So what do you guys out there think? Would you guys rather listen to animals, or would you rather listen to other people's thoughts? Mike is team animals. I'm team human thoughts. So please let us know in the comments down below.
I'm just here to have a good time.
All right. So last thing before we get out of here is what are you enjoying this week that you would like to share with the audience so that they can look it up too. Keep it short and sweet.
Okay, short and sweet. Well, first off, since we got back from that little camping and float trip. That's all that's been on my mind. I'm trying to get prepared for the next one. But instead of that, remember I told you about that show called Accused?
Yes.
Guilty Instant? And it was on Hulu. Well, Fox got a show called Accused. And it's a series, but none of the stories are the same. But the stories are so interesting. As soon as like the story starts, the dude's in court. And then it goes back and tells you why he's in court. It goes through his perspective. And some of the stories, man, like this one, the first story got me. So I'm just going ahead and tell it anyway, because I mean, fuck it. But so the dude, the dude was a doctor. He watching his son growing up. He's like, man, my son's being bad. He's torturing animals, stuff like that. He's gonna grow up be a bad kid. And then he finds a notebook in his son's room while he's in high school, talking about, hey, I'm tired of these motherfuckers, shit like that. And then he's realized how bad this kid's getting. So he plans to take him on a camping trip that has a real big cliff, and he was going to kill his son. But his son, he told him at the camping trip, he's like, man, I know I've been fucking up, stuff like that. I'm getting better. My buddy, he wants to go on a trip in Ireland or some shit like that. And we need $10,000. That's what we do. Because during the show, he overheard him asking for money. He's like, that's what the $10,000 was for. I want to take this trip to Ireland. Then when I come back, I want to get counseling. He's like, whenever he talks about this place in Ireland, I feel like it's going to be beneficial for me. So the dude gives him the $10,000. The kids turn around, they buy guns. They shoot up the school. This dude's in court because he's a fucking accessory for giving the kids money. They were like, man, you knew what was going on. You found the notebook. You didn't do nothing to stop it, and you gave him money for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so fucking crazy. And that was the first show of the series. And I was like, I need to start watching this shit. They got some real good stories in that thing.
Yeah, that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's called Accused. It's on Fox.
That dude is dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Like legit.
If you watch it, if you watch it, man, his whole thought process went up to the mountain, and then his son told him that because he overheard his son, his friend Jax asking for that money, and now that he heard what it was for, man, that dude really thought like, man, my son's really turning around.
So okay, so you think he really bought it and was like, well, obviously he did, because I don't think he would give him the 10,000 for fucking guns.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess I could see a lot of parents doing that, like oh man, my fucking son who like is gonna turn, but he was thinking about killing his son anyway.
Yeah.
So he went from wanting to kill his son to fucking. So
after he was found not guilty, his wife looked at him. His wife, you were really gonna kill our son? And he just gave him that look like, yeah, kind of like. She's like, yeah, I wish you would have.
Damn.
And just walked off, and I was like, God damn. I mean, you kind of would, because he killed some kids in that school.
Yeah. He deserved to be put out.
That shit that was on Pitt's finger, what was that shit called? Because that had your attention during the float trip.
Dude, I tried to pop it when we got back to his house, and it didn't pop, so I was kind of upset.
Man, so you put him through torture.
Yeah, that was, what's it called? A finger paronychia. So basically all it is, it was a nail infection on the side of your nail. It gets underneath the nail, and on the side of your finger, it becomes inflamed, and pus starts to build up underneath it, and you can actually it becomes real sensitive to like anything, little taps, touches, anything hurts. But if you pop it by putting a toothpick or something sharp underneath the side of your finger, like almost under your nail, the pus will come literally squirting out of it, and the pressure, it just relieves the pressure and feels so fucking good. People who, it happens a lot to people who bite their nails, and I bite my nails, so I used to get them like every month or so, something like that, and I loved when I got them.
Taking that shit, and I just ripped them off.
Right, but it fucking, yeah, I used to get them, and I used to love getting them.
But yeah, it does feel a lot better once it
comes out. Yep. So there was that, and the other thing I've been watching because of my sunburn actually is skin peeling videos. People peeling their skin because, dude,
you watch that snake skin peeling from the feet.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. That was a couple weeks back. But it's because like my I got really burned on my face and like around my hairline, like it was peeling like up into my hair. So like my hair had like a ton of dead fucking skin in it. So it looked like I just had like the worst case of dandruff of all time. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
Story in Japan. We had this dude. He had a shaved head, and he went to go climb Mount Fuji, and so he put all this sunscreen on his face. He had a perfect circle. And my buddy's like, man, you look just like the opposite of the Japanese flag. Instead of having a red dot, he had his white face. It was all red. He had a perfect little circle around.
Respect. Yeah, but
climbing Mount Fuji takes some time, so he got burnt pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the water for what, 8 hours?
And how many miles we went? 5?
We only went 5 miles.
Yeah, so that's another thing for you guys who's planning a float trip, man. You don't go that fast on these float trips.
Yeah, you literally go slow.
8 hours to do 5 miles.
Yeah, it took so long. And we only stopped, what, 3 times?
3 rafts and all these big motherfuckers on this raft. We were going nowhere.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But that was fun, man. I really want to do it again. If anybody's watching and you actually are considering... If you made it this far. Yeah, if you made it this far and you want to join a float trip with us, because mostly right now I think the people who are watching are basically just family and friends. So if you want to go, just shoot us a message, and we'll kind of keep your name in mind for when it gets closer to next year, and we'll shoot you a message a couple months in advance. Yeah, in June. That's usually when it goes down. So we'll shoot you a message, maybe a couple months in advance to kind of let you know it's coming up. And who knows? We might be able to get something going. We're trying to rent a cabin next year, I think was the idea.
That's what it's
instead of all the tents. And because everybody's getting older, we're all like 35 plus now. So yeah, if you want to go, we'll probably be in a cabin. So yeah, it's a good time. So we got anything else, Mike? Good to go?
No, I'm good to go. I'm
Any more tea?
Empty.
Respect. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. If you guys want to contact us, feel free to head on over to our website at www.talkingtrashpodcast.com to leave a recommendation or just drop a line and say what's up. If web form really isn't your thing, you can email us directly at Ramboss or Ehle at talkingtrashpod.com. And make sure you follow us on social media on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram just by searching Talkin' Trash Podcast. You can also check us out on Spotify and Anchor if you just want to hear our sexy-ass voices.
Yeah.
And if you guys made it this far, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share. All of those things really do help us out with the algorithm. We're small content creators, and we really would appreciate anything you guys could do for us. Seriously, thank you guys for listening. And don't forget to keep talking that trash. Peace out.
Go Tiger.